The harbors during the summer season on the island of Sodor were busier than ever before. So much so that during the evenings, at least 10 different engines were busy on every quayside. Knapford Harbor got the worst of this. "Excuse me, Mr. Oliver," Toad said to Oliver one night. "Do you think it's time we got some more engines here?" "Not quite, Toad," replied Oliver. "We got many of those engines back from the mainland. But what we need is another port to load and unload goods at." "You've got a f***ing point, Oliver," Henry grunted as he backed in and was coupled to the flying kipper. It was much longer than usual. "Why is it so goddamn heavy? I didn't sign up for this shit. Henry, calm down before you explode," called Duck. Henry sighed when his driver stopped him. Soon, Murdoch came to help him double-head the train.
"It could be worse," James puffed to Gordon. "Sir Topham Hatt could have asked Billy to pull the express, which we know he wouldn't do." "Don't remind me of that." Soon, Vickerstown Harbor reopened, and service continued there.
In addition, the harbor in British Colorado had opened to more small boats bringing in cargo, and the workload dramatically decreased at Knapford and Brendam. One morning, Thomas was picking up passengers at Dryall when Boko pulled in, delivering fresh crates of meat. "Good morning, Boko," Thomas whistled cheerfully. "What's the matter?" Boko hissed.
"Remind me," he said, "to never complain about Bill and Ben ever again. That crane in British Colorado is a nightmare. Spanky is his name, and he makes me want to apologize to Twanky."
Thomas puffed away, taken aback by the scathing comments.
That evening, Thomas pulled into Maithwaite where he met Toby. He told Toby what Boko had said. "To me," said Toby, "it seems like he's a crane who's going to have to learn lessons the hard way." And Thomas understood. The next morning, Toby set off to Farquhar Station. Sir Topham Hatt wanted to see him.
"Good morning, Toby," he smiled. "Edward has volunteered to help shunt trucks and do work at British Colorado's new harbor. Would you mind going and joining him?" "I'd love to, sir," puffed Toby, but he took Thomas's words with a pinch of salt. Soon, Edward had filled up on coal, and the two engines met at Knapford. "Be careful up there," Gordon warned. "I haven't had to go up that line and see that vulgar crane, but you're in for some trouble." "I'll keep that in mind," replied Edward. "I hope he's not too much worse than the spiteful brake van." And the two engines set off. As Edward and Toby entered British Colorado, it's a good thing they were going slowly, or they wouldn't have noticed the derided Spanky. He was recklessly carrying a shipping container. Suddenly, he swung the container and knocked Arthur's trucks right off the track. "Oh dear, replied Arthur. My first accident in 19 years. I'm on my third spotless record now. It wasn't your fault, Arthur, said Toby sympathetically. We all make mistakes, some of which are caused by others. Spanky was simply laughing. You careless engines are always standing around. I can say whatever I want, swing whatever I want, and nothing will happen to me. Fuck what's acceptable. It's a good thing Arthur was a prim and proper engine most of the time, otherwise he'd be swearing his ass off at Spanky. Harvey soon arrived with Rocky to clear the mess, and was a bit more unfiltered with him. You want to call Arthur careless? You are the definition of careless. I'm astounded you haven't realized we're helping you yet. I'm just trying to keep myself calm. You should see how I react to the new update and steal a brain rot on Roblox. Then, Harvey whispered to Arthur, He'll learn. He's the equivalent of a brain-rotted Gen Alpha child. You know the ones. Arthur understood. Fortunately, only one of his fish trucks had been impacted. That truck was taken away, and Arthur set off with the other three.
Throughout the day, Spanky continued recklessly working, from carelessly loading or unloading cargo to annoying the piss out of engines, workmen, and Sodor locals alike. Hey, what's that for? You're an M truck! And he carelessly continued dropping crates into him. Hey, don't throw shit at me and stop identifying me by a reference. My name's Ivan. This train has to go now! Hurry up, or I'll be singing all night! The workmen could not stand Spanky, so they quickly loaded the trucks. Unfortunately, because they were so rushed, the trucks had uneven weight distribution, which they knew. This was especially problematic because the second-to-last truck in the train had been loaded with dynamite, which hadn't been secured properly. Soon, Molly arrived to collect the train. Be careful, Molly, puffed Edward, and make sure to pin down your brakes as you go down the hill. I will, smiled Molly, and she set off happily, but Edward had already prepared Rocky. But as she puffed down the line, the trucks were still seething. We can't push that crane into the lake, so what do you think we do now? Bumper, wait till I say. But we'll get revenge on that crane one day. Looking forward to it. Hey, Molly, what is it? Time to speed up! And the stupid trucks pushed Molly down the hill, past Holland Lake and down the line. As she puffed into Shen Valley, the dynamite exploded, causing a coupling to snap and the tail to be left behind. Please stop! Stop pushing! Here we go! Then there was trouble. The bottom of the hill was up ahead. Molly's driver applied the brakes, but it was too late.
No one had been hurt, but the line was blocked. Soon Edward arrived with Rocky. May I ask why you caused this? Grunted Rocky. What was the grand motivation this time? It was that stupid Spanky crane. He hit us with the goods he was loading us with. He needed someone to learn not to f*** with us. So you took it out on another engine? Yeah, basically. I need a drink, sighed Edward before he started puffing back up the line. But things didn't get much better as the evening fell. Just outside the harbor, there was a small T-switch that engines could use to turn around. Sir Topham Hatt planned to have this replaced with a turntable and a small set of sheds in the future. Neville was to collect a goods train from the harbor, and Toby was shunting it into position. Soon, Neville arrived to go turn around. But as he was doing so, Spanky yelled, Chicken jockey! Chicken jockey! Aw, could the poor strong Q1 not handle a minor mess in a theater that he only had to watch online? I feel sorry for the poor workers who have to clean that up. And to be honest, I do too. Since Neville had fallen into the lake, he couldn't take the goods train. James and Duck had to come take the train for Neville. They were very cross with Spanky, as was Henry, who bought the breakdown train to help Neville out. How Sir Topham had approved of you working up here, he hissed, is beyond me. One of life's greatest mysteries. No, it's not, laughed Spanky. I'm an essential part up here. I took the strain off your other ports, and you damn well know it. Ender Pearl! You are a brainless nincompoop. Within 2 hours, the Breakdown Gang had lifted Neville and built a small extension of the pier to make things safer. Edward and Henry then pulled him back onto the tracks. Late that night at the sheds, Edward and Toby talked about Spanky. I don't know how we deal with him, sighed Edward. I've just had enough of all the mishaps he's caused. Tell you what, replied Toby, when we go back up there tomorrow, we let him learn the hard way. And how would we do that? You'll see. The next day, Edward and Toby were at the harbor again, and Toby's plan came into action. Remember, we just let him be reckless, then show him how it's done. Hey, old geezers! Spanky yelled to a workman. What's the most bold and wild thing I could possibly do? Encourage a car to do wheelies, yelled a workman apathetically, and see what happens. And Spanky did. Hey, you useless idiot! Do some wheelies for me! Make life fun! You asked for this!
My, what happened to you?
I don't know. That driver was just being reckless. He was indeed. So were you, causing trouble for all the engines. And I thought you didn't get into trouble. As you said, you careless engines are always standing around. Nothing will happen to me. Does that sound familiar? It does. Now, if you help me, I promise I won't be rude to you two again. I'll keep talking about skibbity toilets and all, but I'll do my work. I promise. I think he's learned his lesson for now. So do I. And soon, Spanky had been lifted up again and was doing his work. And from that point on, all the engines who went to British Colorado noticed how quiet the crane could be at times. They asked Edward and Toby, who simply told them that he learned the lesson the hard way. Spanky still spews random brain rot constantly and may cause a few minor messes every now and again, but between you and me, I think he knows what lines you do not cross. Do you?